So because the Pope's grandfather was born in Haiti, does that mean that he looked black like me? No, it doesn't. Okay. The Pope, according to the Stitch video, the Pope's grandfather has parents who were born in Louisiana. The Pope's grandfather was born in Haiti. Therefore, there is a census record for the Pope's grandfather's parents that list them as black, but he doesn't look racially black. He's listed as black. Why is that? Because in the United States of America, our heritage, black heritage, follows the one drop rule. This is why black Americans can look a whole different array, okay? And they can be African American, all right? Sometimes you can't look at us and tell it because it's not always in the skin, okay? This is the case for his great grandparents. They were listed as black. That's because they had a drop of black blood in them. They were one of those quadroons or octoroons or something like that. That's what they would call them. So black, boom, and they were considered black. Now, when people think about, let me go all the way back, because when people think about the 1700s and the 1800s and black people, and they think about free people, free black people and enslaved black people, the common thing is to think about someone that you can see as racially black. That's not always the case. That's not always the case. There were some enslaved people who looked just as white as your next door neighbor because they had a black forefather. Their mother could have been black. Their grandparent could have been black. Their mother was born enslaved and she could look white. Yeah, because of who her father was. See, and you're born enslaved, and you can look like a white person or be very, very, very light, very, very light. Okay, it wasn't always okay. You're brown or you're dark brown or you're black or whatever, and you that skin tone. No, you could actually look like a white person, and you are Black American in America. Yes, that's how it works. So that's how it's going on with the Pope. Okay. And like his grandmother, she has pictures of the grandmother saying she's Louisiana Creole. And Louisiana Creoles are mixed with a lot of stuff. Okay, including African. Okay. So yeah, you got African American. If you're Louisiana Creole, you got African American. You may have some French. You may have some this. You may have some that. You may have a lot of stuff. But yeah, she has the pictures. But that's all. I mean, you could literally go and you could see someone is enslaved, and you be like, how are they enslaved? She's white. No, she's not. She's black. So that's how history works. And that's why, in my book, did I put this in my book? I might have. In my book, The Six-Figure Pay Withheld from the Enslaved. I was talking something about that. You really can't. The heritage was passed through the mother, as far as if you were free and what you were going to be considered. And I know a lot of people. I got a comment talking about someone you are with what your father is. No, you're not. Not here. That's a cultural thing. That's depending on where you are, because here in the United States of America, especially back then, you are not what your father was. No, you were no. You are what your mother is. Because if your mother was black and she was enslaved, guess what you were going to be? If your mother looked white but had black ancestry and she was born enslaved, when she has children, even if her children look white, they're going to be enslaved unless they go and pass. That's how it was. It had nothing to do with who your father was. Your father could be Thomas Jefferson because he did have a whole black family. Okay, your whole entire heritage was based off your maternity, your maternal line. So, and people came on my comments talking about some, no, you're what your father. No, 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 no. You can't put your culture onto somebody else's culture because every culture doesn't go by the paternal line. And when it comes to African Americans, your heritage was formed through your mother. During the times it was formed through your mother, during the times of slavery. Oh yes, yes indeed.